So another incredibly choppy day in the market. What's going on, guys? It's Will. Hopefully you're having a great day today. During today's live trading session, what we were talking about inside of StockMate was when the market opened, it was consolidating and not really doing it. It was incredibly slow. And we were looking here, it was showing signs of consolidation, pushing up for no reason after selling off for basically no reason. And we start to see, noticing a lot of these kind of like small crashes, these flash crashes. And with the stock markets here, with crypto, they happen. And then out of nowhere, the only thing that I can really, say, point a finger on here is institutions, right? We're seeing institutions sell off, potentially some de-risking due to uncertain conditions, the trade war, maybe the tariffs. And because supposedly, Jerome Powell, in that Federal Reserve meeting, there's nothing to worry about. The economy is doing great, right? Regardless of, in my opinion, regardless of what they say, I don't know that we're necessarily seeing that. We're seeing, they track inflation, and just taking the last 12 months into consideration, telling us that the impact of some of the conditions for the American people are maybe just the past 12 months, and that what's affecting us, they're tracking it all, and it comes down to unemployment rate, and it's historically pretty low at 4%. Yet people seem to have trouble finding jobs, and maybe these reports are saying one thing, but again, like we're experiencing something completely different in the market. It's pushing up for no reason, and then it's pulling back for no reason, and this just brings me back to, again, the same thing. It's like this video, like, there's not anything new. We're trading within the same range of how the NASDAQ market moves, but the NASDAQ has not really shown much progress over the past 2 weeks, or the past week, really. And we've seen this push up here, lows of down to 558, and then pushed back up to 575 here on SPY. But that common resistance range, you see this resistance here that's getting rejected. It's going to sell off. It sold off here when it got rejected, and then it rallied, and it sold off, and maybe it's going to sell off more. These markets have been really choppy and somewhat uncertain, right? So these markets are, again, they're starting to be very volatile. Now, one moment we're bullish, we're looking here and we're saying, oh, it's bouncing on the support. And then next moment we're bearish and something's changed, or nothing's changed in the sentiment. But, clearly shown right now the market is uncertain. And I don't know if the market fully believes that we're done with these trade wars either, or even the war in Ukraine. And I know down in the comment section from you guys, what you think, when we look at the consumer sentiment report, all of them, like maybe the reports, they're coming out, but it's much worse what the American people are experiencing. Maybe that's the case. Right, the path that we're seeing with Jerome Powell and the head of Federal Reserve, he's basically saying there's nothing to worry about. The economy's good. We'll probably see some more interest rate cuts over the next year, and then we do get these pullbacks that start to happen. Now, one thing in the markets, this isn't necessarily as big of a sell-off as what we saw previously, but there's no higher chance right now that it's going to continue down than any other time. So right now, in my opinion, it's not like fact, but my opinion, it's what we're being told about the markets, and maybe some of the sentiment from Federal Reserve is normally it's not quite accurate, and it's actually a little bit slower economic recovery. And the way I see it, I think a lot of people are feeling the impacts, right? And higher prices, maybe higher inflation. And again, that's just my opinion. Doesn't have to be yours. But then, all of a sudden, we might have something with tariffs getting reached, or Trump begins to say a lot of great things about the economy, and then we start to see the market recover. Federal Reserve begins to really cut rates, and then that could, basically drive it down or drive the market up. And those types of market conditions and the environment, I'm able to do extremely well because the markets thrive during lower rates. Now, when the economies are booming and people are spending money, that's great. And that's something that people want to spend money, but I don't think people want to spend money more right now. I think people are struggling to find jobs. And yes, just in my opinion, I think inflation is way higher than what's actually being tracked because they're considering the last 12 months. And, I want to make it very clear. I mean, you could see right now that, I have open positions on Tesla and sometimes even, shorting. But, if you're just getting started, you're doing PDT rule, maybe you're not like catching every little swing. It's incredibly volatile. But the main focus of this video, guys, is just, we're going to continue to trade in these markets. There's no clear direction. We don't know if we're going to go bullish. We do not know if we're going to go bearish or whatever is going to happen. But I know it's the same thing that, we kind of regurgitate, which is, I don't want us to feel like, we're going extremely heavy on our long positions right now and the markets, and we sell off. We see a sell-off and the markets are uncertain. And right now, if we do not know where they're headed, right, they begin to recover and we start to see it and it looks good, but then it begins to sell off. Now, you shouldn't be afraid to buy the dip, but I think that being mindful of your position size, there's a lot of different ways on how to make money in the market right now. And during moments like this is where there's a lot of consolidation. And the best way is for you to wait, if you're just a beginner, for these extreme pushes or extreme sell-offs, and then to be able to take advantage of these overbought or oversold reversals. And if you know how to trade them, right, it works. But if you're just getting started and then maybe waiting for the conditions and the direction to be a little bit more clear, then yeah, I'm excited to follow up with some videos on that. And again, it doesn't matter if it's a green day or a red day, guys. I'm here on the channel if you need anything. And again, if you want to ever tune on into my live trading session, it's simply the second link in the description down below. You can sign up right now and watch me trade live tomorrow morning. Starting tomorrow, we'll be driving some AI and some quantum stocks, taking a look there. And like always, guys, if you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.